WZDX presents an extra look at the hottest action from the world of sports. This is WZDX Sports Extra with Mo Carter, Charity Chambers, and Kayla Carlisle.
Thank you once again for joining us for the best 30 minutes of your Sunday evening, which we like to call WZDX Sports Extra. I'm Mo Carter alongside Charity Chambers.
Yeah, this week our sports team went across the Tennessee Valley to bring you the latest sports action going on right in our own backyard.
Absolutely. The Alabama State games to the John Stallworth golf tournament. Those things were happening this weekend.
Yeah, we can't forget the groundbreaking of the Madison Ballpark, a huge deal here.
Yep, absolutely. Now, all of that is on tap. Plus, Auburn baseball taking on the top-ranked Florida Gators at the NCAA Super Regionals. See how they fared against the Gators.
And a segment you are not going to want to miss today. The WZDX sports team is giving you our take on the NBA Finals. It's going to get heated, so stay tuned for that.
But first, we're going to start with the Alabama State games. In case you didn't know what it is, the games have been around for 36 years, and athletes from across the state come together to compete in a variety of sports. Oh, the games are actually part of a nationwide network, meaning that the top competitors in each event will go on to compete at the State Games of America. It starts with the largest annual multi-sport event for youth and adults. And the really cool thing about this is it gives kids an opportunity to travel around and see more competition.
Yeah, and this year it was right here in Huntsville. So awesome. Thousands of people came here to the Rocket City just to compete in sports ranging from baseball to track and field and even baton twirling. It all came to an end today, but let me tell you, it seemed like everyone had a great time. From young
I'm competing in the 800, the 400, the 200, and long jump.
to old,
I'm just out here in the game because my youth been renewed.
people across the state of Alabama gathered right here in the Rocket City to compete in the Alabama State Games.
I think a lot of people will be surprised at the level of competition. I mean, you look at some of our softball, we've got 40-plus softball. They're going to still be rolling in.
This year, Miracle League Baseball was a huge hit. In fact, they had the biggest turnout of Miracle League athletes in the game's history. And from the baseball field to the track to the gym, it seems as though the games has a sport for just about everyone.
I think people are going to be surprised at some of the sports they've maybe never seen.
And one of those sports, pickleball.
Well, we tell them all the time that it started out in California with family playing in the driveway, and they had a net and they had a dog, and the ball kept rolling away, and they'd say, the dog's name was Pickle, and they'd say, Pickle, go get the ball. And that's true.
Though every sport clearly has its differences, all the athletes have the same mentality.
What are you going to say to your competitors today?
They better beware.
Gotta love that. And earlier this week, you saw me and Mo try our hand at a game of pickleball, but what you didn't see is Kayla and I getting schooled on the court by a couple of 80-year-old women. Not my proudest moment, Kayla.
I'm still embarrassed by how bad we did. We didn't score a single point in the first two games we played, which we realized these women weren't even playing all out. So, of course, I had to go catch them in action this week. And during the state games, let's go ahead and check that out.
Meet Miss Connie and Miss Betty, Huntsville's most dynamic duo. These two have been ruling the pickleball court ever since their tennis group was shut down due to injuries.
They all had knee replacements, and I was afraid they couldn't play tennis anymore. At that point, I hadn't had a knee replacement. So I remembered that they played pickleball over at the senior center. We went and watched the next time, and it just seemed like it really grew. All of our girlfriends started playing.
Now don't let their sweet faces fool you. These two are fierce on the court, all thanks to their gold medal strategies.
We go out there and we forget how old we are, and we love playing against the young ones because they get everything back, and we have to be evil and do bad shots so that they can't get them. We just play for fun.
I don't have any secrets. I'm with Betty. Betty used to always say if we age long enough that we'll outlive everybody so we can win.
But those strategies didn't play out like they hoped. This weekend, the ladies competed for real and put up a good fight, but their opponents saw right through them.
Congratulations if they beat us.
Well, a couple of words we can't repeat, but yeah, congratulations. Darn it.
But nonetheless, it's women like Miss Betty and Miss Connie that keep it fun.
It doesn't matter your age or how good you think you can play. Just come out and start playing. You'll find out you love it. It's mental, it's physical, and it's social, so it's for everybody.
Yeah, the group is wonderful. Everybody is so nice, and so they would enjoy it. So come on out, guys and girls.
And I'm serious when I say I want to be them when I grow up. And not only kill it on the court, but also they have great attitudes about everything, and I have nothing but respect for those two. But I'm just going to put the record straight right now. Me and Charity are coming for you guys real soon, so you better watch out.
Seriously.
Well, look, speaking of playing pickleball, we played in a media soiree, and you and I didn't do too well.
We did not. It wasn't good at all.
No, it was not. Let's take a look at some of the action from earlier this week.
Since the ladies on this team, they're going to get to serve first.
All right. Let's go. Let's go.
Build a wall up here.
All right.
Okay.
Because the game is played at the net.
Okay.
Silver for Mo Carter.
Play the music. Play the anthem. They got to sing the Star Spangled.
Look, it was all good in the name of fun, but
Yeah,
you know, I didn't want to lose, Charity.
I'm still salty about it because that's the type of game you need a little bit of time to learn the rules, and we didn't have that time.
No, we did not have that time. However, I will say this, in due time, which will be this time next year, you and I will practice enough to get the gold medal, and Kayla will be on side of us as well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm there when you need me. I don't know if you need me or not, but I'll be there. I'll be your cheerleader.
Hey, I appreciate it all. All right, let's move on to another big thing happening here in the Tennessee Valley. John Stallworth and his celebrity friends making waves this week here in the Rocket City. For the 16th straight year, Stallworth Foundation is hosting their big golf tournament with all proceeds going to scholarships.
The weekend always starts off with a pairings party, and for the second year in a row, it took place at the Huntsville Botanical Gardens, where spectators were surrounded by football royalty. This year's participants included Mel Blount, Hines Ward, Yancey Thigpen, Dwight Stevenson, and Andre Reed, just to name a few. John Stallworth, the man and the football player, have impacted every one of these former pros, and that's why they take their time out each and every year to attend this event.
This is nothing to come down here, but so it's always a blessing and having a good time coming out and playing around the golf with some great guys and to help raise money.
John is a great testament to what you know, just giving back is all about, and what guys can do who really pour their hearts into it. And so he and Flo does a great job, and we're just glad to be here to support him.
When John asks us to do things, we all want to help out and stuff. So we think a lot of John, and it's tight for me also.
Once the laughs were over on Thursday, it was off to the golf course on Friday, and that's where we found the bus, Jerome Bettis. He made his first appearance at the event this year and loves lending a helping hand.
Indirect part of it is that you get to have a great time with some great guys, and so I got a great group of guys with some great stories that they're telling from all over the country. Some we can't really repeat on television, but some great stories nevertheless.
Yeah, when folks volunteer themselves, when the celebrities come in, they want to come in and they're excited about coming in, it makes it easier to do what we do.
Now, the Stallworth Foundation has awarded more than $500,000 in scholarship money, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of those pros return to help out with John Stallworth each and every year. And God, it was so great just seeing all those guys I got a chance to watch. I heard my dad talk about it in certain senses either.
Yeah, oh my goodness, so exciting. And one of my favorite players, Jerome Bettis, out there. That's great.
Oh, he was so nice too. I met him when I was out there, and he was having a great time. I wish I was out there with him playing, not working.
Yes.
Oh, maybe you could join it next year.
Oh, maybe. I'm going to be in pickleball. I'm going to play golf. I mean,
doing it
add
all.
to the list.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, the Auburn Tigers baseball team had 7 players taken in the MLB draft this past week, including the #1 overall pick. But those guys are not worried about their pro futures because they have to worry about college careers and also the NCAA regionals. We got that story, and we've got the groundbreaking of the Madison Baseball Park. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And now back to the action on WZDX Sports Extra.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. The Auburn baseball team, they have been on a roll, and up next for them were the Super Regionals. And with 2 more wins, they'll be going off to the city of Omaha for the College Baseball World Series.
Yeah, that's right, Mo. They are taking on the top-ranked Florida Gators in Gainesville. A tough matchup, but they are hoping to keep their Omaha dreams alive, starting with game 1 on Saturday. Let's start at the top of the second. Auburn's Josh Anthony up to bat with runners on first and second, and he would hit a ground ball through to left field. Anthony delivers. Rounding third is Edward Julian. He makes it in. Auburn strikes first, 1-0. Bottom of the third, Auburn up 2-0 down. On the mound for the Tigers is the #1 MLB draft pick, Casey Mize. He was looking solid up until the third, and now he is in trouble. Bases loaded for the Gators with only 1 out, and Will Dalton, he hits it deep to right field. It would hit off the wall, a 2-run single for Dalton. Gators go on to tie the game, and that was the momentum shift the Gators needed. They would go on to score 2 more runs in the third and would show no mercy on Auburn the rest of the game. Florida takes game 1, 8-2.
So we move on to game 2, which was this morning in Gainesville. The Tigers staying loose in the dugout. Florida, they would eventually take the lead in the 4th. Nick Horvath with the RBI double in the left field. That'll score his teammate Blake Reese, and the Gators chomp their way to an early 1-0 lead. But guess what? Those Auburn Tigers will waste no time responding. Charity and myself have called this guy's name all year long. Stephen Williams decides to make a house call. He is knocking that baby out of the park for a home run, tying the ball game at 1. We're still tied in the 8th now. Will Holland, another big name, coming through with a monster hit in the deep left field. Josh Anthony gets on his high horse and shows that 4.3 speed, slides in, and he is safe. Auburn takes a 2-1 lead. 3 more outs, and Auburn's got this bad boy until Austin Langworthy makes a house call and goes yard over the right field fence. Russellville native Cody Greenhill's like, man, I can't believe I just gave that one up. Gators tied up at 2 apiece, but Auburn would get 2 on in the bottom of the ninth, and Luke Jarvis says, let's end this thing right now. The big hit in the deep left center field. Cade Evans will score, and that's a walk-off, baby. Wow. Auburn goes on to win it 3-2 to force game 3, rolling into the Super Regionals. After the game, we caught up with Jarvis on this great moment.
That's as cool as it gets, like from a feelings perspective, you know, playing this game, you know, where it's, you're not hitting the ball well, and then sure enough, you come up with, you know, kind of a big situation, and all you got to do is put the ball in play, and it sounds a lot tougher when you're in there, but yeah, I mean, these guys played amazing. You know, it was a big team win.
And a huge day for Auburn. They hold on for one more day. The rubber match between the Gators and Tigers will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Can't wait for that ball game. Hopefully Auburn can punch their ticket to Omaha for the College World Series.
That would be pretty great.
Now, a close game, especially when you're one of only 16 teams left in the country, it's always going to make it for a great ball game, so we know for sure we're going to see something good on tomorrow.
Exactly. Can't wait for that game. And some other big baseball news in our own backyard. The Madison Ballpark groundbreaking was yesterday, so let's go ahead and take a look at how all of that went down. 674. That's how many days until minor league baseball is back in the Tennessee Valley.
I can assure you guys, April 2020 opening night will be the first of many, many years to come where we can all enjoy minor league baseball.
On Saturday, hundreds of people gathered in Madison, anxiously waiting for the groundbreaking of the Madison Ballpark. And for some, like Raph Nelson, the CEO of Ball Corps, who owns the Bay Bears, moments like these are emotional.
Here I go. My wife told me to tell you that Tom Hanks said there's no crying in baseball. This is the best day of my baseball career, right here, tonight.
Less than 2 years until the first pitch, officials say there is no time to wait around when they have a park to build. The park will include a promenade and a swimming pool near the outfield as part of the Margaritaville Resort.
It's going to be family-themed events, movies in the park, car shows, scouting events. and baseball games. It'll go on, and that's what Madison is about.
Now the $46 million project is set to be complete in time for the start of the 2020 season for the Mobile Bay Bears, who of course will be renamed by then. Mo, if you had the final say, what would you name the team?
So we had this conversation a couple months ago with some other folks around Huntsville. My final say would be the Tennessee River Valley Bandits.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. It just rolls off the tongue and it just sounds really good.
That's kind of long, though. That's kind of long. I don't know about that. Well, when we come back, we're talking all things NBA Finals. Mo, Kayla, and myself are giving you what our take is on what went down in the NBA Finals. I have a lot to say about that. I know they do as well. It's a segment you're not going to want to miss. Stay with us.
And now back to the action on WZDX Sports Extra.
Hey, welcome back to WZDX Sports Extra. All right, let's talk about this. The NBA Finals, they did not go in the favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and a lot of us thought was not going to happen in the situation. Let's kind of tell you what ended up happening. LeBron James had 23 points in a losing effort, and we later found out he was playing with an injured hand, which was suffered when he punched a wall after Game 1. Thanks, J.R. Smith. By the end of the night, Stephen Curry had 37 points. Kevin Durant added a triple-double and another NBA Finals MVP trophy as the Warriors won their third title in 4 seasons.
Feels so good to be a part of a group like this, and to win 2 championships that's what you want as an NBA player.
Yeah, when you have a goal and you're able to accomplish that goal, it actually, for me personally, made me even more hungry to continue to try to win championships, and I still want to be in championship mode.
We knew it wasn't going to be as easy as last year when it comes to our record and things like that, and then the challenges that faced us. So in October, we wanted to be back in this moment. A lot went into it, and it's a great feeling to be back here.
So in this state, we can say, let the Warriors dynasty continue.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah. Same old story, I feel like, every single year.
Yeah, but what I have an issue with is after I feel like the fourth quarter of Game 1, LeBron, you could see on his face, he gave up. After that, they didn't show up to the game at all. Not even in Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, as you saw.
Game 3, they did show up, though. Game 3, I'm going to tell you this. Game 3, they showed up until that Kevin Durant three-pointer with about a minute left. And then that took the wins out the sail.
But my problem is, how can you not show up to the NBA Finals? You're playing on the biggest stage in your sport. As a former athlete myself, you guys are former athletes too. But how could you not give your all in the NBA Finals?
Because LeBron was carrying the team. Like, he was tired. He's been playing almost every minute of every game. The guy was tired, I'm sure.
No, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, yes, you're tired. I'm sure he's tired of carrying the team.
Correct.
But you are the leader, and you can't, after the finals, that's when you can go
Relax.
off, you know?
But the real story is, where is he going to go next?
Yeah, that's going to be
honestly,
a big story. Of course, he dodged all the questions about what's going to happen next, talking about family and the city and things of that nature. But, you know, it's going to be the frenzy over the next 2 weeks, because I think he's got until June the 23rd to give them an answer on what's he going to do. Of course, we've heard the 76ers, the Rockets, the Spurs,
the
Lakers, and even the Warriors. If you can't beat them, join them.
No.
I don't think
I will be done with the NBA if that happens.
I will be done too. But look, I'll say this, you know, I'm keeping hope alive. Maybe he goes to my New Orleans Pelicans. Then it's LeBron, Boogie, AD, Drew Holiday.
Come on, guys.
But I don't think that's happening.
Hey, we shall see in the upcoming weeks. The LeBron saga continues. But congratulations to the Warriors. They are now a dynasty.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we got more coming up on WZDX Sports Extra. It's the favorite part of the show, Best of the Week. You don't want to miss that. Plus, we got some NASCAR action to tell you about. Stay with us.
And now back to the action on WZDX Sports Extra.
Next week on WZDX Sports Extra, we'll be joined by Athens native and EuroLeague All-Star Richard Hendricks. The former Alabama All-American basketball player is back home for the summer and is ready to talk about his recent season overseas, the current state of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball with Avery Johnson at the helm, and we might pick his brain about what happened in the NBA Finals. Check out Richard Hendricks next Sunday right here on WZDX Sports Extra.
And this week, NASCAR fans headed to Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400. And boy, was it a rainy race day. Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick took the first 2 stages, but after 67 laps, the race was canceled due to weather. And since the first 2 stages were completed, the winner of the race was awarded to the driver who was in the lead at the time, making tonight's winner Clint Boyer. That's his 2nd win of the season. And fun fact, 7 Fords finished in the top 8, 3 of which were from Stuart Haas.
Stuart Haas is killing it this year, but also what's killing it is Mother Nature with these rain delays and cancellations in various sporting events, including NASCAR.
Yes.
I mean, there was snow in Arizona earlier this year for a NASCAR race. I mean,
never a good
come
sign.
on.
Exactly.
Come on.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and throw it into drum roll, please. Best of the week.
Yes.
Woo! And I'm going to go ahead and get things kicked off, I guess. So if you're a track and field lover, I guess, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. The 19-year-old from Cuba. His name is a little hard to pronounce. I'm going to try the Juan Miguel Echeverria. He led the competition long jump all day, but on his final jump, take a look at this. He leaped all the way to the end of the pit. And I don't want to know how bad his knees hurt after that, because that was quite the jump into the wall. Yeah, I don't know.
That ball got some skills.
I've never seen that before.
But, you know, it didn't count because the wind.
Oh, come on.
No.
Yeah, yep, I know. I was saving that for the end.
No, this turned from best of the week to worst of the week. Like, what?
On edge. That's
Go ahead,
Well, my best of the week might make you tear up a little bit. After being deployed to Syria, William Clegg surprised his son Aiden at his baseball game in Pennsylvania. Of course, Aiden had no clue his dad would be there. After a long hug and a few words, William even got to pitch to Aiden, something he has undoubtedly missed while being deployed. Williams is in the reserves and will be home for at least the next 3 years. I love it.
You always got to love
Wow, you got to
those
beat me.
stories.
Jeez.
All right, now finally, let's talk about this. NCAA track and field championships. USC needed to win the 4x4 just to win the championships. And how about this? They actually did, thanks to this young lady right here. Kendall Ellis ran a 50.05 in the final leg to not only win the 4x4, but that gave them 10 points to up-jump Georgia, and USC wins the national championship in track.
You guys, 4x4, unreal race. I have nothing but respect
I ran
for
the
her
ankle on it, so I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yes.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of WZDX Sports Extra. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you next week with my man, Richard Hendricks, at the helm.
Thanks for watching WZDX Sports Extra. Furniture provided by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.